I'm Dionne and I'm the president of Brilliant Perspectives, and this is Graham Cooke, the founder and CEO. So Graham, tell us a little bit about Brilliant and how it came to be.
Brilliant as an idea began probably 20 years ago. I've been in training in a business context, in a church context, in a life context for 50 years, mostly teaching people about having new mindsets, seeing things differently, believing the best about something, but also thinking from the realm, never thinking from a realm that is negative or void of any kind of life, but really rising above your circumstances to see things in a completely different way. So you get to see further, you get to have a different vision of how things could work and what are possible. And bringing those things together into people development, into team development, into business development is really what we're about. We're about perspective. It's a different way of seeing.
Yeah, it was interesting how we actually got to that, right? Was that our two worlds got together in a way we didn't expect. And I've spent my whole career, more than 3 decades, trying to crack the code on how do you bring kingdom life together with business life. And I think for most Christians, most leaders, there's like, here's my devotional life and here's my professional life, and the two don't really connect. And so we just learned maybe to try to bring some of the ethics in, or treat people well, pay your taxes and so on, which is fine. Right. But it felt to me like there was so much more. And so I spent, many decades trying to do this and formally studied this. I studied all the best management practices from around the world as part of a PhD. I was trying to discover what's the magic ingredient. The way I understand it best now, think of like downstairs is all the practical world and the upstairs is the spiritual world. Right. What if you connected those two worlds together? Yeah. And what if the kingdom, the upstairs, informed your performance? What if it was possible to create a high performance kingdom team? And that's exactly what we've created. And but how we got together started off that looked pretty bleak in the beginning. I was building a business and my whole business world just exploded. And I ended up with a very adversarial situation. And I called Graham and I said, oh, my whole business is gone. I'm losing friends of many years standing. And it just felt like the end. I'd never been in a legal lawsuit ever before. And I ended up with a class action lawsuit, which thankfully was dropped. But I also ended up with an SEC investigation, which was pretty intimidating. And thankfully, again, that was resolved pretty quickly. But when we were in the middle of all this, it seemed very dark. It felt like all was lost. Maybe you're listening to this and saying, hey, that's me. Or I know that experience. I know what you're talking about.
The fascinating thing about God is when you get into difficulty, the first thing he does is show you your future. I mean, that is the reason we're calling this program The Edge, because that is a cutting edge thing there. Yeah. To be able to see beyond what you think are your restrictions and to see into a place where you have more freedom to innovate, to design, to explore a whole different facet of what you could be doing. That's the thing I love about God is he does everything from a place of nothing. When you feel burned out, I can't do it, this is hopeless, he just goes, yeah, but you didn't factor me in. But I always factor you in. So the crawl space for him is about just you understanding his love, kindness, grace, generosity towards you. And that reorientates your inner world, which then creates a different lens, a different mindset, and a different language. And that's what we've done. We came together in the same company, and together we have produced a team who have a lens, a mindset, a language. They know who they are. They know what their field is. They're increasing in their own ingenuity in that, because we created an environment where they could thrive, where they could have shiny eyes, love coming to work. We all love the learning. And we learn together, so we call it relational learning. We learn how to trust each other, how to be for each other, who's the best in this situation, who's the go-to person when this happens. And you function together differently because you have a divine advantage that's a kingdom advantage It's totally a business advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. I think for us, I mean, downstairs the performance levels are so high in this team, probably gone up 400-500% in the last 3 years, and to the point we've switched to a 4-day work week because the team still keeps performing at that level. But what's really joyful is that triple bottom line thing we always talk about. How much money did we make? How many people do we reach? And how alive is the team? You talk about shiny eyes. I mean, what a waste of human life if you went to work and hated what you did.
Right.
And you look at the statistics and the research. How many companies have that? So we have a high performance team. It usually, in the world's way, if you take no kingdom component, just high performance team, you can do that. 14-hour days, burn your people out, destroyed relationships, marriage, no time with the kids, and the divorce rates are high in these high performance environments. But the kingdom, that's not the kingdom way. What if you can have a high performance team that is peaceful, that functions from rest, that knows how to receive a gift from the Lord, partner with him in creativity, innovate, or as we call it, not just a team with a leader, but a team of leaders.
Right.
And even if you don't lead people specifically, you lead your own contribution. So when we give that degree of ownership, that degree of permission, and we teach them how to be with the Lord in that situation, everything changes.
I love the way that our team can pivot. A problem comes, the business world is full of problems, full of people trying to get ahead, trying to elbow people out the way. And the great thing about working from a place of peace and rest is you see things much more sharply, more clearly, and more speedily. We are a present future company, which means we know who we are here and we know who we're becoming. And we're always moving like this, So we move out and then we move up, and then we move out and then we move up. And so constantly our vision of things gets more acute, more sharp. We get more definition about our business path and what we're doing. And also things that we hadn't even thought that we could do suddenly come into view, because it's not just about the direction you're going in, it's about the height at which you can travel in business, where you get to see a bigger perspective. So we're seeing things either side of our normal business plan. And the ability of this team to pivot, to me, is just remarkable. How we engage with the present and with the future and keep both those things in mind. Pure business magic.
Yeah, kingdom culture will eat worldly strategy for breakfast all the time, and I think that's why we called it the Edge. So it's worked here at Brilliant, right? So and now we're implementing it in another team, and a third team is coming online, and so we thought, why don't we take this to the world? This would be, I think it's so unique, bringing the best management and leadership practice together so you get a genuine high performance team, but with being informed from a kingdom perspective is really teaching people how to partner with the three, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and how all that brings and the richness of what that brings. So we're going to talk more about this for those who are interested. So we would love to have you join us, and we'll provide you all the information below.
The Edge is exactly that, because we're not just going to tell you what's possible, what you can do. We're actually going to show you the process. We're not giving you ideas, we're teaching you the path that you can walk down, and that eventually will become a runway, and you'll take off into something yourself. So we want to teach you how to do it, not just what to do, but how to do it, how to engage, and how to feel amazing about yourself and your team in the process. That's the real edge, the how-to connection, because we've been there, we're out there, and we'd like to be in there with you.